Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff. You guys know that if you're here watching this particular video by now. I've been talking for the past week or two about how I was going to make this video about going to make some announcements, talk about where we've been, where we're at as a channel, as a community, that kind of thing. So the first thing I want to do is just say thank you to all of you guys who have watched any of the videos, especially if anyone who has liked or commented or shared those videos, subscribers, of course. And of course, if you're watching this video, again, you've probably enjoyed at least some of the other content. I guess it's possible you're watching this video without having seen anything else, but it's unlikely. So that's the first thing. Now, I know that we all like to think, oh yeah, man, I have great attention span, whatever. I can pay attention to anything as long as I want. But I've seen the stats. I know that's a lie because every single video on almost every YouTube channel, especially a reaction type of video, the viewership dies off after the first couple of minutes. So, why do I bring that up? Well, I have things I want to get to. I've got the announcements, I got the Q&A, I've got some other like the number kind of stuff. But because I know a lot of people are going to start tuning out, we're going to get to the announcements first. All right, so that's the big stuff. That's what we're all here for. Well, it's what some of you guys are here for. I'm here for all of it. Whatever. Anyway, so I've got a lot of stuff in a notepad on my phone. So I'm looking for that. Give me just a minute. Here we go. Okay, so first thing is I am going to be making the requests much more visible, much more transparent. Meaning, in the description of videos, there's going to be a link to this spreadsheet. It's going to be a Google Docs spreadsheet. And you guys are going to be able to see exactly what's been requested, what's ahead of you, where you are. There's a field. I'll actually show you guys here. Maybe I should move the camera for now. Can I move the camera? That'd be great. Please, camera, move. No, we're not moving today? Okay, well, whatever. Excuse me. Okay, the point is, here's the cue. This column over here, the first column that you see that's blank on the far left, that says date requested. I was trying to move the camera so you guys could actually see that, but it's not cooperating. The point is, starting from the next request that shows up, I'll start putting the date that you guys requested in there so you guys can see exactly how long people have been waiting. For example, I don't know the date he requested it, but I know this user, Titso000, requested TVXQ killing voice and has recently not said anything, but for a couple of videos did mention like, hey, like kept making the same request. So in order to help mitigate some of that, and just again to be transparent, you guys are going to have all of this stuff here. Now, you obviously probably already zoomed in and seen what I've got over here on the right with color coding. I'll explain that in a minute. But this yellow, way back when I started the channel, there were some of you guys who were making requests, and because we didn't have a ton of videos up yet, and I didn't have a ton that I was trying to get to, and we didn't have a very large subscriber base, I was allowing multiple requests. But at some point, I stopped allowing multiple requests, and I started saying one request per person, but you can have more requests, and I'll just throw it at the bottom of the list. And what I meant by that was every time someone came in with their very first request, it would automatically jump you if this was like your second one. So this chunk of yellow down here are requests from people who have been in the queue for almost a year now, because other people were being allowed to get their first request in. So why do I mention that? Because for these people like Ghostly Ray, Che Amazing, Glenn, my buddy Block, even Bad Cowboy here, Mac, all of you guys, I'm I'm gonna go in order from here out, from the top down. So it doesn't matter if someone else gets their first request in from today moving forward. I'm going to at least get to where we are down here at line 64. The only way that someone will jump ahead in this queue is this. We now have a PayPal donation link, which will also be in descriptions. If you want to, and this is not obligated, you still have the one free request per person. But if you want to move your request up to the top of my priority list, you can click on the PayPal link and donate to move it up. There will be description with that link of how much each thing is. Right now, as I'm talking, although I haven't set it in stone, I'm thinking $5 for one video. I wasn't quite sure on this one. I just put 10 there, and 25 for a full album. Or what I might do is $5 for one song, $10 for a mini album that's like 4 songs or less. No music video, but just like the album itself. And then 25 for a full album reaction. Again, not set in stone, but it's an option. And once again, that does not mean the free stuff is going away. I want to stress that because I've always said that I wanted this to be available for free so that you guys could get requests here if you genuinely liked how I do things. This is just a way that if you either want to support me and get your request to the top, or you're like, to hell with that guy, but I still want to see my stuff first, then here's an option. Now, going back to this sheet, you saw something else. This is the big announcement. All right. We got the Patreon. Finally, I've been talking about this for a while now. Been talking about, when I eventually start Patreon. Well, I don't know when I'm going to start. All of that announcement, here it is. I've got it set up as of right now. Okay, right now, we're publishing the page. So by the time you're seeing this video, the page is live. You will be able to become a Patreon if you want. Again, this is always just an optional thing for people who want to go kind of above and beyond and support the channel. And I'll have extra content on there. Now, because I knew at some point that I was going to get a Patreon going, I've tried over the past month or so to start at least getting something on here so that if you decide to join, you wouldn't be coming to a bare page. So let's see what we've got. Let's go to the home page. Okay. Now, the first thing is, prior to today, any video that's on the YouTube channel that has been completely blocked or partially blocked will be on here for free. So, I know a lot of people wanted to see some of my 17 reactions that didn't make the channel. I know some people were disappointed that my very first one packed reaction got blocked, or my Japanese ITZY reactions. There was a B2B live reaction from the Kingdom performance where they covered Stray Kids Backdoor that was really requested. All of that stuff is going to be here, and it's going to be free. So, what do we have for free right now? We have, and again, some of this stuff is still up on YouTube because it's only partially blocked. And when they say partially blocked, it usually means Russia and Belarus. Like, I don't know why those two countries get blocked a lot, but they do. There are a couple of rare ones that might also be blocked in a couple of other countries, but those are the two main ones. So if it's partially blocked in any country, it'll be here. You'll be able to see it. So we've got one, two, three, four, to five. Well, actually, let me go back. Post type, video, and public. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 videos that are either completely blocked or partially blocked that are here for free. You want to check them out, come look at the Patreon. Again, with that being free, that does not mean you have to sign up for a membership. Just means I think there's like a free subscribe button or something like that. So let's talk about the actual tiers. All right, this is the stuff that's not free, that if you want to just support the channel, it's available. So we've got 4 tiers right now. We got the white tier, that's the bottom tier. Basically, that's just, hey, I just want to give you a little extra. Appreciate what you do. It's $1 a month. You'll have access to anything that gets blocked going forward. And of course, you'll still have access to all the free stuff. All these tiers are obviously going to have access to the free stuff. So, yeah. Access to anything that gets blocked or partially blocked moving forward. Now, I do have Vimeo. I have a total amount of videos that I can have uploaded is 120. So, if somehow that number gets reached and I have to delete videos, then the priority of stuff getting deleted will obviously come off of the free tier in the order of whatever was partially blocked, because most people will still be able to see that on YouTube, and then the completely blocked, because at that point it just is what it is. I'm out of space. I don't think we're gonna get there, but it's possible. If that happens, this is a disclaimer, the free stuff may not always be there, but I had to separate it. So, like I said, anything from before this announcement goes live, before the page went live, will be sectioned off for free. And then anything going forward will be available to actual paid members. So, that's basically what you're getting for $1. You're getting access to that, and you're just saying, like, here's a little bit of, pocket change to help you out. You see here access to the Discord. I was going to pull up a separate window, but it doesn't want a window capture. So basically, that's the other announcement, or one of the other announcements. I am starting a channel Discord. For right now, it will only be for Patreon members and a couple of my close friends. In the future, depending on if I feel like we need more growth in there to actually have any sort of interaction, I may open it up to just general members here on the YouTube. But for right now, the plan is to make that a Discord perk. There will be more on that as to why in some of the later tiers. Okay, moving on. We got the gray tier. This one's $5 a month. So in addition to everything else, you get one request per month of 5 minutes or less. So basically a music video. I will, for Patreons, I will react to any kind of music. I will not put it on YouTube unless it's K-pop, though. Because my channel is K-pop only. There are plenty of channels that do variety content, but my channel is specifically designed for K-pop. And also at this point, I feel like if I were to even include stuff that's not K-pop, it wouldn't matter, because yeah, we might get a few new people coming in and they might be excited for that new thing. Let's say, as an example, I reacted to one of my favorite groups, Breaking Benjamin. Okay, so now we got Breaking Benjamin fans in there, but then my next 200 videos are K-pop. Well, now I'm alienating those people who showed up. It's almost like false advertisement. So, uh, like I said, K-pop only on the YouTube. So with the gray tier, you get one request, basically one music video built in. So remember when I mentioned this, these color codes here, this is priority system. Because if everybody's getting requests because they're in Patreon, there's got to be a way to say like, okay, whose is coming first. Because I don't have unlimited time in the day like most of you. I have a real job. So, yeah, that's just a disclaimer that, if you sub at the gray tier, you're ahead of all the free people with your request, but you'll be behind the other two tiers. I think that's fair. The people who are supporting at a higher level get higher priority. It doesn't mean it's pay to win because the free options are always there for you. Now, what else do we get? So we've still got all the stuff that we mentioned before. You also get to vote on any polls that I put up, and the polls that I will likely be putting up are either priority polls, meaning like, for example, I have 3 different concert experience videos that I have to get around to at some point. In hyphen, only one of, and TXT that I just went to this past week, or this past Wednesday. Literally 2 days ago. Whatever. And so I might put a poll up and say, which one do you guys want to see first? That's where I'll spend my time making that video first. Doesn't mean I won't get to the other ones. It just means I'll put that priority. So I may have a priority-based poll. I may have a content-based poll. And I actually do have one up right now that anybody can vote on, even the free members, where it's like, what kind of content do you guys like to see reactors do outside of K-pop? Do you like more of the variety content, like Time to Twice and SKZ Code and stuff like that? Or do you like more of the survival shows? Do you like concerts? I have access to some concerts that we can do reactions to. Like, I think I've got ITZY in Japan. I think I've got aespa in Japan. There's a few. So there's those kind of things. So you'll be able to vote. Like I mentioned up here, you get 1 music video reaction request per month. Be patient. It will get done in that month, but I do have the whole month to do it. So, and it is based on the priority. If I notice, at some point down the road that Patreon is becoming really popular and a lot of people are taking advantage of the request and we have a really massive queue, I may have to pause request so that I can adequately fill all the people who are, signing up. And then I already talked about this, 3rd highest priority on the request list behind the orange and the black tiers. What do we already have up here for paid members? Well, let me show you. We have, we've got a few concerts. So I have the Gaio Daejeon 2023 Christmas celebration concert, which was almost about 4 hours. Specifically in relation to that one, though, please read the comment that I do have here if you decide to watch. Essentially, the last like 40 minutes or so, the audio got cut out on my recording, so I just cut that out. So it's not the complete performance. The last 40 minutes got cut out, but that information's in the comment. My concert experience videos will show up here for the paid members. So the Alexa one, that one actually got blocked on YouTube. Also, I have my other one, the Twice one, up here, but I'm only going to try to put one more up on YouTube, and that's the only one of performance. The rest, and that'll still be here as well, but the rest will always show up here. I won't even bother putting them on YouTube anymore. We got the Rose at Coachella from their 2nd weekend. We got LE SSERAFIM at Coachella for the 1st weekend, and ATEEZ from the 1st weekend. Um, I could have done the second weekend, and for Le Seraphim, I probably should have because their performance was even better the second weekend. But I didn't think about it. I figured I already got their performance recorded. Let's just go with it. All right. So right now, that's what we have. I lied. I don't have the twice experience in here, so I'll have to put that in here. So, but that's still available on YouTube regardless. All right. So we have concerts here. And of course, we'll have more. We have a couple of survival shows. Right now, we're watching Girls on Fire and Island 2. Both of those have episode 6 this week that I still have to record. So those will be getting uploaded this weekend. There's another show on Viki called Make Mate 1 involving boys trying to make their debut. So I'll probably try and start watching that as well as the next thing. And then once I get a break from those three, the next survival show I want to get to, if I can get to it before a new one starts, is Build Up, which is the show that made the group BDU. I do know we have like a Road to Kingdom 2 coming up. So I'm curious to see the lineup and the production schedule for that, but I'll be trying to get to that as well. But yeah, we'll have that stuff here. Also, eventually, at some point, I will get into some K dramas and we'll have K dramas up here. Okay, so moving on to the orange tier, we've got everything that you had in the gray tier, and but now you have two requests of 5 minutes or less, so basically two music videos, or you can get one other type of content that's 15 minutes or less, essentially, like I said here, like a variety show or something like that. So if you want to see Time to Twice and you want to use that as your request, all right, cool. Get that in here. Again, it needs to be 15 minutes or less. If it's close, I'll still go for it, obviously, because, this isn't a hard and fast rule. It's just a guideline so that I don't spend a ton of time. Um, let's see. And then, of course, you get the second highest priority on the request list. So that the biggest benefit is that you get extra requests here. And then for this one, the black tier, you get some extra perks. So this one's 15 a month. So now you get another request. So you have up to 3 requests of 5 minutes or less. Or one request of like a variety show, like one of those 15-minute ones, and one music video. Or like a 30-minute request or less. So I don't know, let's say there's some special, I don't know what it would be, but let's just say there's like a half-hour thing you want me to see, like a member guide video or something like that, then this one would be for you. You also get the top priority on request, so all of your requests come before all the others. You also get, if we ever have any merchandise later on, you'll get first access to that. And I mentioned the Discord and that I would come back to that. Here's another one of those kind of perks that ties into the Discord. And you do have to be in Discord to have this particular benefit, but it's a 1-to-1 Discord reaction, meaning you and I will get on a call and I can either react to something live just for you, or we can talk about something together that we're watching at the same time. And there is a disclaimer here. Any of these requests, if they're K-pop, will go on the channel, but for the 1-to-1 reactions, those will go on the YouTube channel if you consent to it. As long as it's K-pop. Now, I do reserve the right not to put it up in the first place. especially if I'm on a call with someone who's using hate speech or something that might get the channel taken down. We don't want that. But yeah, so that is the breakdown for right now of the Patreon. It was a fairly lengthy breakdown. We're 25 minutes into this anniversary video, and we're not even quite done with the announcements. So we've talked about the request queue transparency. We've talked about the PayPal donation in case you don't want to join Patreon, but you just want to bump your request up. Or maybe you just don't trust Patreon for whatever reason, and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to give them my money. I don't know. Whatever. PayPal's available. We've talked about free stuff, both on Patreon and just on YouTube in general, still being there. We've talked about Patreon at length. Now, one other announcement is that I would like to open the submissions, open the floor, so to speak. If any of you guys are artists or graphic designers or anything like that, and you want to submit designs that might possibly get used in merchandise for the channel, then I'm opening that up. There's no set time frame of when that will end, but if any of the designs get selected, I will. Patreon doesn't let me gift subs, but I will give you the benefits of the top tier sub for 3 months if you submit any sort of design that actually gets used on merchandise. I don't know. I hope that's a cool enough benefit, but yeah, we'll see. We'll discuss more if, especially if either no designs come in or if a ton of designs come in, we may have to evaluate that. But that's just another thing that's available is a logo design. I don't want to really call it a contest because there's not designed to only be one winner necessarily. But yeah, for lack of a better term, it's a contest. Okay, so that is all of the announcements. Now, I mentioned that I was opening this up for a Q&A. So that anybody who wanted to submit questions for me, I would try to get to them here. We didn't have a ton of questions, so I got time to get to them. First question actually was asked by a couple of people. How did I first get into K-pop? So a lot of people, I don't know if I want to say my age or my generation, but a lot of us kind of first got exposed to K-pop with Psy, with Gangnam Style, right? That's not how I got into K-pop, but it was kind of like my first toe in the water type of thing. I went a little bit deeper because at the time I thought Hyuna was super attractive, and I went and played her version of Gangnam Style on repeat for a while. But again, that's toe in the water kind of thing. Where I really started to get into K-pop was I heard Likey from Twice. I was like, man, that's really cool. It's really bubbly. It's really catchy. But for some reason, I never really followed up on that. That was just my first conscious thought of, hey, I like K-pop. Just never followed up on it. I didn't go down the rabbit hole. So fast forward a little bit, how did I truly get into K-pop? Was Blackpink, but it was kind of a backdoor way into Blackpink. So what happened? 2019, I went to the last in-person meeting of Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3, here in Los Angeles. And at the time, I didn't live here, but I was living here, if that makes sense. I'll come back to that. And, oh goody, the banging started again. I thought they went home. Whatever. Anyway, so Ubisoft makes a game called Just Dance. And Just Dance selects random, well, they're not random, but they feel random artists and their songs. And they do choreography for those, and they put them in a video game format. Well, at this E3 exhibit, they also brought the Ubisoft Just Dancers. So they had like a dance team that would come out and perform. And I saw them performing Kill This Love. I was like, that's kind of cool. And because they didn't know the dances to every song in the game, over the 3 days, or maybe it was 2 days that they were there, and I would casually walk by, they repeat a couple of them, and Kill This Love happened again when I was there, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Let me go check out this group. So I ended up getting into Blackpink basically through the backdoor third party way of seeing someone else perform a song from Just Dance that was from Blackpink. And then I went down the rabbit hole, and, well, I never came back out. So that is the answer to how did I first get into K-pop. Second question, has my taste in K-pop changed over the years? In some ways, yes, and in some ways, no. So when I say in some ways, yes, a lot of that is more because of the industry itself changing. We've gone from YG dominated, like Blackpink type of stuff that was loud and brash, girl crush type of stuff, to, and I wasn't into boy groups back then, so that when I said kind of yes and kind of no, kind of yes is part of that as well, is that I've started to get into a lot more boy groups too. So now the industry, especially with Hybe, has moved into a lot more like easy listening type of stuff. You don't get as much noise music. You don't get as much. I don't even know how to phrase it, because Girl Crush is still there, but I don't know. It just feels different to me. Um, but yeah, so in a simple way of answering this is part of my tastes have changed because of how the industry has forced my taste to change. And some of my tastes have changed just because I've become exposed to more things and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds cool. Let me check them out a little more. The biggest instance of that being boy groups in general. Um, when I very first started listening to K-pop, I probably wouldn't have listened to a group like ATEEZ or Stray Kids because a lot of their music is loud. And I don't mean loud as in just volume. But now those are two of my favorite groups, especially ATEEZ. Um, I still strongly prefer girl groups to boy groups, but some of my favorite, like TXT, is one of my favorites, along with In Hyphen, and I'd consider TXT maybe even one of my top three, definitely top five. Okay, maybe definitely top 10. My buddy actually, who sent me this question, tried to ask me what I think my top three were, and after top two, I was like, I would have accepted a lot of answers for the third slot. Uh, well, but the other half of that, I said kind of yes, kind of no. The kind of no is the stuff that I was into when I first started, Blackpink, Twice, EXO. I'm still into those groups. So my taste hasn't changed in that regard. And Twice is my top favorite group. I've loved everything they've put out. They don't have a single miss, title track or B-side. I don't want to hear it. So, yeah. Again, kind of yes, kind of no. Next question from our buddy Cody. What do I listen to outside of K-pop? These days, not a lot. In fact, it's rare that I listen to anything outside of K-pop because part partly because I'm just too busy. I'm either doing this or I'm playing games or I'm working. Or I'm doing some other kind of hobby. So if I'm throwing on like a YouTube playlist, it's rare that I listen to anything else. But on those rare occasions, I listen to stuff like Breaking Benjamin, Daughtry, Evanescence, 3 Days Grace, Three Doors Down, Pentatonics, Lindsey Sterling, Ariana Grande, uh, Disney music, like from the animated movies, and even some of the musical stuff. Speaking of musicals, one of my favorite movies ever is Greatest Showman. But y'all aren't. No one asked me that. I just thought I'd throw that in there. A little bonus for you. Um, so yeah, and actually, I do have some concerts coming up. Oh, also video game music. I have an orchestra concert coming up that I'll be going to on August 10th for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm going to see Lindsey Sterling in VIP concert on September 10th. I'm also really disappointed because I'm going to see Lindsey Sterling because I already bought the VIP ticket a little while back, and then I think it was like last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, G Idol announced that they're going to be in LA, or more specifically Anaheim, on September 10th. So I can't go unless my Lindsey Sterling ticket sells. Really disappointed in that, but it is what it is. The Final Fantasy concert, turns out that also conflicts with a concert I was going to go to, because Secret Number I was going to give a chance to and go see them because their tickets are really reasonable. But they're on the same night, so I can't go to that one either. So, yeah, I think that covers what do I listen to outside of K-pop. This other question from Cody was kind of like broad, vague, if you will, because it could be interpreted in quite a few ways. He asked, "What is your background?" And so we chatted a little bit in one of the comments in the community tab, and I asked what he meant, and basically I'll try to answer this from both ways that he wanted. So one way he wanted was just my background in terms of like how, like, who I am. And then the other part of that is like, what have I done in the past that informs my evaluations and breakdowns of the videos that we do on the channel. So a little bit about me is I grew up in Tennessee. I went to college. I have 3 degrees. One of them is a bachelor's in sports, sport management. I have an associate's degree in nursing. I have a bachelor's degree in nursing. And actually, at one point, for a while, I wanted to be the first person in my family, which I was already the first person to graduate college on either side of my family. But I wanted to be the first person to get a master's and a PhD, but I could never figure out what I would do with it once I got it. So I didn't bother. And now I have a job that I would be stupid to give up just to go get a higher degree that I wouldn't need. So maybe someday, but probably not. Um, so I became a nurse. I never did use my sport management degree. And after a few years, I started travel nursing. So I went all around the country doing nursing at different hospitals. And I ended up coming out here to LA. That was back in 2019, back when the E3 story happened. I was here a little bit before that, but that was same year. And I stuck around for a while because the pay was better and there was a lot of stuff going on here that I wanted to either be part of or see or do. And then I also went to Anime Expo and I got into voice acting. So I do also voice act. I've not been cast in anything major that you would know, so don't bother asking. I've been in one video game so far. It was an indie fighting game called Avaria Versus. I've also been cast in another game that is probably not going to see the light of day if we're being honest, but if it does, that'll be cool. I do have a demo reel for commercials, but I've not actually sought out an agent to be able to use that yet, so maybe someday in the near future. Um, yeah, and that's basically background on me. Now, the second part of that question was, what have I done or seen that helps me do the breakdowns that I do? Part of it is just I feel like I am relatively decent at paying attention to detail. But part of it goes back to being in college. Um, I mentioned I have 3 degrees, but my first degree, I had 4 minors. So I had a minor in secondary education, I had a minor in philosophy, I had a minor in business administration, and I had a minor in history. I had the secondary education and history minors because I was eventually going to go coach. I was going to go teach in high school and coach ball and maybe work my way up. That ended up not happening. But yeah, the philosophy and the history minors, though, are probably where a lot of my experiences come from. And then just in general, life experience. I'm mid 30s at this point, so I have more things that I've seen that I can pull from. Um, and also, in my reactions, or especially the breakdowns, you'll notice a lot of times I will say things like for my older audience, or for my younger crowd. Like I'm kind of in the middle, and I kind of bridge that gap. And some of what helps me stay at least kind of current in how younger audiences think and speak is because I am chronically online. I stream on Twitch, I play video games. I haven't for the past month and a half or so, and it's been a nice break, but I do stream on Twitch. Uh, and so I'm constantly around that community, the gamers and the people that are online all the time. So for people who aren't, I can sort of be that bridge um, between both sides. So, yeah. Um, I think and hope that answered everything. So that takes care of the Q&A. And so now this is, if you've actually stuck around, 43 minutes to get to this part, first off, kudos to you, hats off, I appreciate you. Second off, from here to the end, I'm just going to talk about where we are, what we've done, the numbers kind of stuff. So this one, I'm going to be consulting the notepad for a bunch. All right. So these are just stats, right? Some of it's pretty cool. Some of it, leaves some to be desired, but it is what it is. It's a snapshot of the channel itself. So first, how many videos have we put up over the past year? Well, not including blocked videos, I've put out 235 videos for you guys. I don't, off the top of my head, know the math to know how many per month that is or how many per week, but I've tried to be somewhat consistent. Even though it's not a consistent upload schedule, I've tried to have a consistent quantity each month at least. There were a couple of months that were down and a couple that were, way up, but it's been relatively even. If you counted the blocked vids, I'd have more, but I didn't bother counting those. So how many subs did we get? How many new people have we brought to this community that have just been chatting? We're at 797 at the time of this recording. When I first started, my goal was 50 and then 100. I figured nobody wants to watch, a mid 30s guy who looks like I do, who sounds like I do, talk about music that they probably don't think I should be talking about. Fortunately, a lot of you guys thought differently, and I appreciate that. So we shattered that goal, obviously. So once we hit 100, my next goal was, well, can we get 500? And can we do that within 6 months? It wasn't within 6 months. I think it was like 7.5, but we made it. So once we hit 500, I was like, okay, that's cool. Can we get 1,000 by the year anniversary? That we didn't come anywhere close to. As of 2 weeks ago, my goal was 800, which we also didn't get, but we got close. Yeah, it is what it is. Subs on YouTube or even Twitch or anything like that is one of those things that, as the creator, you don't actually have any control over it. Like, yeah, we can put out more content, but we can't make people hit the button, right? So it's kind of weird to have a numbers goal, but it's something to look forward to, I guess. Um, so that actually brings me to one thing that I meant to put in the announcements, and one other thing about the sub count. So I thought we were on track to hit that 800 goal because, like I said, 2 weeks ago that was the goal, and we were at 795. So in 2 weeks we've gotten 2 subs, but I thought we'd have a pretty good shot at getting the total of 5 that we needed, because I put up, I think, like 8 or 9 videos in that time span, including I think 6 on Sunday. And unfortunately, none of those videos did well. And it's either because people don't like me, or it's YouTube not showing the video. Because I know it's not the groups and the songs that weren't popular, because all of those songs, like, this wasn't me giving new groups a chance. This was IVE. This was Espa, In Hyphen, Zero Base One. Like big name groups that have big followings. So I don't know if the videos just aren't being shown, or maybe because I uploaded so many, YouTube was like, not today, fam. I don't know. Which brings me to the thing that I meant to put in the announcements. Moving forward, I asked you guys a while back if you preferred, in a case like that where I'm really behind, and I'm up behind again this week. In a case where I'm behind, and if I have multiple videos to get out, do you prefer a couple at a time, or do you prefer to binge and like get them all at once? And the vote was pretty much down the middle. At that time, I thought, well, me personally, I don't like to just sit on the videos if I've already got them. So if we're already kind of divided anyway, let me just push them out. I'll just dump them all when I've got them. However, on the occasions that I've done that, the videos have not done well. No matter who the groups are, no matter how great the reaction really is, they don't do well. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's people just don't want to see my videos at that point. Like, maybe they think I'm putting too many out. Or if it's YouTube saying, like, maybe he's spamming, so we're not going to show the videos. I don't know what it is. But from here out, unless there's some super major, to me at least, special occasion, I'm going to be doing 2 videos, maximum of 3 on any given day. It's not saying I'm going to do 2 or 3 every day. It's just saying, like, if I record 7 videos today, then a maximum of 3 of those will come out today, and then I'll schedule some for the following days. Hopefully that will help boost some of the numbers from these underperforming videos. I don't know if it will, but it's worth looking into. Okay. So let's talk about, because I want to end the video on positives. We'll start with the least liked videos. I actually was gonna do most liked and then least liked, but I want to end the celebration as a celebration. So, out of those 235 videos, what are the top 3, or I guess in this case, the bottom 3, least liked videos on the channel? Coming in at third is Atarashi Gakko with Pineapple Kryptonite. Had an 84.6% like percentage. Now, that's actually pretty good. I mean, a lot of channels, I don't know about reactors, but in general, YouTube content, it's hard to have videos that stay, 80s, 90s, especially 100. I will say every video we've done here, the lowest we've had is, I think, 82%. Or no, there's one that's 80, but I'll come back to that. Nothing in the 70s or below. So I really appreciate you guys that if you haven't liked something, you haven't just clicked dislike, because that does actually hurt creators. Every dislike affects the algorithm and makes YouTube push it out just a little bit less. Every like makes YouTube push it out a little bit more. So if you do like something, hit the like button. I've stopped throwing that in there at the end of my videos because, at this point, people know how YouTube works. You know how to subscribe. You know how to like if you want to. But whether you think it does or not, it really does actually help the channel. Also, comments help because it shows that videos are getting interaction. That's just information if you didn't know, or confirmation if you did. So, second place. This one, I even told my friends when I put it up, I was like, this is going to be my most disliked video. And technically, by percentage, it is. But when you factor in how many views and how many likes versus dislikes, it's second place. Baby Monster with Sheesh. Now, I actually enjoy the song and I love Baby Monster. But I knew the video was not going to do well because I hate the way that, the meme way of saying the word sheesh. I went into it at length. I'm not going to do it any further here, but I expected this one to do poorly, and compared to a lot of the videos on the channel, it did. This one, though, the worst rated one, I was surprised because even to this day, I feel like it's one of my best breakdowns. But either the people that watched it weren't feeling it, or maybe the people that watched it were tired of seeing it. That'll make sense in just a second. It was Le Seraphim with Eve, Psyche, and the Bluebeard's wife. Now, also, Cody, you asked earlier about what informs my breakdowns. Well, that particular one, I was able to do a breakdown based on my history knowledge and also my biblical knowledge. Now, I'm not a biblical scholar by any means, but I should have mentioned in my background, I was brought up in Christian church, and so I have some knowledge of the English Bible. I don't know the Hebrew or whatever because there are differences, but so that has influenced some of this. So like in that video, knowing about the story of Adam and Eve helped. Knowing my Greek history helped with Psyche. The only one I didn't know, and I looked it up and went over it with you guys on that video, was Bluebeard. But yeah, that one was 82.6%. So 0.2% better than Baby Monster. But again, when you factor in like the percentage of likes versus dislikes, all that, it's a little bit lower. And shout out to Cherryong from Itzy, her solo Mine. That one was the 80% video, but it only had 4 likes and 1 dislike, so it didn't make the cut. Okay, so that's all the negative. All right, so let's talk about the positive. Let's talk about the cool stuff that we've got going on, right? So what were the top 5 most viewed videos? Starting from number 5, we had the guide to BTOB. Why do I still mispronounce it? It's B2B. Whatever. Okay. Forgive me, Melody. But that video, now these views are not gonna, I'm gonna mention numbers here. These views aren't gonna be earth shattering, and they're not gonna be, something super impressive. But for me, they're cool. And for the channel, especially because all of these came before we even had 600 subs, the views are actually pretty cool. Uh, so the guide to B2B video had 3,853 views as of me recording this. Uh, Even if you looked at right now, not even quite 800 subs, that's if every sub watched it, that would be more than 4 views per sub, which is pretty cool. And we know not every sub, because I can see the statistics. Not even 20% of the subs, I don't even think 10% of the subs are coming back for each video. So these are mostly new people coming into the channel. Uh, at number 4, and all the rest of these, mind you, are going to be Killing Voice videos. You guys love Killing Voice. I love the Killing Voice, but you guys love to watch the reaction to Killing Voice. EXO on Killing Voice with 3,919 views. Number 3, Infinite on Killing Voice, just over 6,100. It's at 6,105. Big Mama on Killing Voice. I never would have expected this one to come in at number 2, but right now it's sitting at 6,538. Honorable mention here for number 2 for 17 on Killing Voice. It got blocked, but it got blocked months after it had been up. It had 9,600 views. So it would have been by far number 2. But because it got blocked, I can't count it. I even deleted it all for the channel. And the top viewed video on the channel is B2B on Killing Voice. My very first experience with B2B. Super cool. Loved that video. There's some goofy dudes. Almost 12,000 views on that video. 11,977. It's like, I don't even know how to explain how cool that is to me as someone who is such a small channel. And that was my first video to go over, I think it was the first one that went over 3,000, and then every milestone after that. EXO on Killing Voice actually beat it to 2,500, but anyway. All right, so what were the most liked videos? Now, if you look at just likes as in physical clicks of the thumbs up button, then obviously that B2B Killing Voice is going to be the winner. With almost 12,000 views, the likelihood of it having more likes is pretty strong. I think it had like 722 or something like that, so it's pretty cool. But in terms of percentage, it's a little bit murkier here, because a lot of the videos are at 100%. So I had to kind of look into it and say, okay, what's the criteria then if there's all these 100% liked videos? So when I made this top 5 list, I said they had to have over 1,000 views, they had to have 100% like percentage, and they had to have over 100 likes. So in 5th, there was a 3-way tie between the videos for the full reaction, the reaction to the full Twice the Remixes album, B2B with LUV, and Infinite the Eye. In 4th, we had Card with Cake. I gotta be honest, did not expect Card to show up in any of these top stats, but hey, I'm here for it. Let's go. Can't wait for the new Card comeback. In 3rd, this one was surprising to me. Kiss of Life with Nothing. Why was it surprising? Well, for one, it's one of my more recent videos, so it hasn't been around that long. It's by far the most recent of the ones that are, highly liked. It just went over 2,000 views. But why specifically was it surprising? There's not a music video there. It's just a lyric video. So, I mean, that might have helped because I'm not breaking anything down in terms of a video. Maybe y'all liked the fact that I didn't have anything to break down. I don't know. But it was pretty cool. And then the top 2 slots are owned by B2B. So number 2, B2B It's Okay, the dance version. Because I also did the music video version later, and I think that one had like 1 or 2 dislikes, but I don't care about that part. We're just talking about most liked by percentage here. And then the very top liked video on the channel that you guys enjoyed the most out of 235 videos, B2B, I'll Be Your Man. I gotta say, That's I get it. That's that song, after hearing it, jumped into my top 10 of best K-pop of all time songs. So I get it. Thank you guys for all of that. Um, and now the last part of this is talking about kind of like discovery. So I got into this channel, or started this channel, I should say, for a few reasons. I wanted to connect with people, to share my either opinions or appreciation of K-pop, because I don't have people in my regular life to talk to about K-pop in general. I have a couple maybe now, but I didn't when I started. And so that was part of why I started. The another reason why I started is to just broaden my music horizons. And that's the point we're going to be going into right here. So on a channel like this, there are creators who might stick to only what they know and react to only what they know that they like, because they know for sure, as I have found out, that if you dislike something that everybody, or at least enough vocal people, like, you're going to get dragged for it, and you're either going to have to fight for your life in the comments, or you're going to have to just get thick skin. Now, I have streamed live on Twitch for multiple years. I don't have a problem with, people who disagree. Sometimes I can be argumentative and combative, but I try not to be. And to y'all's credit, most of you, like 98-99% of you, have been amazing in the comments. Even if we've disagreed, most of you have said, something kind, and vice versa. I can think of only 2 specific comments to this day of the year that we've done videos that I have not liked, but I've even left every comment, the good and the bad, up on all the videos, because I feel like you still deserve to be heard as long as you're not being super hateful or racist or anything like that. So how many groups did you guys introduce to me? Like, how many did I either discover or hear them for the very first time because of your requests? Total 18. Who are they? Only one of A Pink, B2B, Woods, Atarashi Gakko, Infinite, Mimi Rose, Taeyeon, Pentagon, 17, 2AM, KDA, UKISS, Sunkyu, Highlight, formerly known as Beast, Big Mama, B1A4, and Rain. And there are more in the request queue that I have no idea who they are. Like, for example, TVXQ. We mentioned that request earlier. That will be another one for the next year that will be brand new to me. So 18 groups that I had or artists that I had, even if I had heard of them, I had never heard them, or maybe I had literally never heard of them either. So thank you guys. How many groups did I personally introduce to the channel that were either debuts, or I heard them for the first time and I came across them on my own? Maybe I found them on social media and decided to give them a chance, or whatever have you. The answer to that one, 30. Who are they? From Us 9, P1 Harmony. Misamo counts because they're a subunit, separate group from Twice. Zero Base 1, Yena, Kwon Eunbi, Lee Chaeyeon, Purple Kiss, Bicha, Sujin. You could almost decide not to count Sujin, because I had obviously heard G Idol, but I came into G Idol after she was already gone, so I still count her. Baby Monster, ATEEZ, Reseen, Miai, Eunice, Queer, Tribe, BB, XN, Secret Number, Nowadays, Woo-Ah, Kiss of Life, Eyelid, Wendy from Red Velvet with her solo stuff, In Hyphen, Bad Villain, Solar from Mamamoo, Jin Jin slash Astro. That was a controversial video, but I appreciate most of the comments over there. And ONF, or I think it's supposed to be pronounced on and off. Anyway, so the total amount of new people or groups that I found or gave a shot to on the channel was 30. And the last cool stat here is, out of 235 videos and all those first times, how many different artists or groups did we at least put one video up for, regardless of whether I'd heard them before or not? Like, how many unique groups or artists are on the channel as of right now? 76. So some of those are doing really well. Like, you guys seem to love B2B and EXO and Infinite, Highlight, most of the Twice stuff, although the Killing Voice video didn't do so well. Obviously Mamamoo is popular. There are some groups that aren't doing very well on the channel, no matter what video I do from them, when I do the video, how many videos around it I put up. They just don't do well. Stray Kids doesn't do very well on the channel. ITZY does really badly on the channel, and so does IVE. aespa is kind of in the middle. So let me know if you guys just don't like that content or those groups. And let me know if there's stuff that you want to see more of. And of course, we have the requests open. So this video has gone about roughly hour and 10-ish minutes. So if you stuck around through all of that, hey, you might even have a longer attention span than me. But somehow I kept talking the whole time. So anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for always being here through this whole year. I look forward to the next year and seeing, you know, some of those stats that maybe we can improve on even further. Not just subs, but, you know, more groups being introduced and more fun being had, more content being provided. So yeah, thank you one more time, and I will catch you for all of those reactions that I'm still trying to get caught up from the end of last week and this week. So until then, take care, everybody.